so much for joining this call tonight. You're going to learn some information that has literally changed my life. And the reason that I say that is because it has given me an opportunity to have passive income through a solid investment, that many take advantage of, but few know about. And so with that being said, I believe in having multiple streams of income. A lot of you guys know me that I'm an entrepreneur. I have many hats. I'm a speaker, I'm an actress, I'm a singer, I'm a show producer. I do a lot of different things, and I'm very passionate about helping people and empowering people through the things that I do. But one of the things I kept running into was finding additional ways to make income. There may be some of you guys on the line that are entrepreneurs that relate to that. It may be other person on the line that work a 9-to-5, but you want to step into your entrepreneurship and focus on your giftings and work for yourself so you can have freedom of your time. And so I just want to encourage you that you are on the right call right now. And I don't want to really delay you guys a lot. I really, really don't. But what I will say is that there is a company, and this company has created an innovative product based on an investment method that has been around forever. But unfortunately, none of us have known about it. So, I just want you to know, when you put your money in the banks, that money's just not sitting there. The banks are investing your money, making lots and lots of money, not on just you, but on all of us. And so, you may only get a little percentage back, maybe after a year, if you're lucky, on a savings account. But there are literally investments out here that can yield you 10% a month, and literally allow you to compound. So I'm not gonna,
I said, that's what we're on here to talk about today.
Yep. And so Paul is going to go into that because I get excited. So I'm not going to take over. Paul is the man with the plan. He's one of those smart people that you want to sharpen you and keep around you guys. He's one of the founders that actually helped build this company from the ground up. So he's the man with the answers to any questions that you may have at the end of this call. But I'm sure he's going to answer a lot of them for you right now and just share how you can really create that passive income this year.
Absolutely. Brooklyn, thank you so much for that amazing introduction. Hold on. Actually, you might have somebody hopping on the call right now. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for hopping on this call. I know time is a very precious, valuable thing. It's a valuable commodity. So I really appreciate you spending yours with us. Like Brooklyn said, my name is Paul Scott. Just wanted to share a little bit more about myself before we really dig into the details and start to share with you these different wealth strategies that we've been utilizing. So a little bit about myself. I'm 24 years old, born and raised out here in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. My parents had always told me my entire life that the plan to life was go into high school, you get good grades so you can get into a great college, you study hard at college, get great grades so you can get a good degree, and that degree will get you an amazing job that will pay you for the rest of your life. Now, it was never a question for me on whether or not I was going to college. It was more so just, what am I going to study when I get there? And it didn't take me very long to find the answer to that question. Looking back at my experience in elementary school and middle school, there was a program called DARE. And in this DARE program, it was a police officer came to our school, taught us about the harmfulness of drugs and how they could have a negative effect on your life. And it wasn't the program necessarily that really impacted me and completely changed my life. It was an officer who came into our school every single day. His name was Officer Matheny. And it wasn't just him running the program, it was his passion for what he was doing. He wasn't just going through the motions, and he wasn't just there because he had to be. He really went above and beyond and made sure that each and every one of us knew if we ever needed a mentor, we just needed someone to talk to, someone to vent to. If we were in trouble and just didn't know who to turn to, I mean, we could always go to Officer Matheny for anything and everything that we ever needed. And so that had a huge impact on me. But even just looking at, Officer Matheny, he wasn't just the face of the police department to us kids, but also to the entire community. I mean, he was always at different churches all over the community. He was doing, community cleanups or charity events or all types of giveaways. He was so active, and I saw him every single day making a difference in our community. I saw him every single day helping people and changing lives, and I just fell in love with what he does. One of my favorite speakers, Les Brown, who's actually going to be at that 10X Growth Con that we were talking about earlier in Miami. But one thing that Les always says, a quote from him. He says, "Service to others is the price that we pay for the time that we are blessed with on this earth." And that quote just absolutely blew my mind, and it changed my life. I decided that the quote that I would live my life by forever. And let me just go ahead and make sure everybody's muted out here. All right. And I decided that that was the quote that I was going to completely live my life by. And so I wanted to live a life in service to others. I wanted to give back to people. I wanted to truly make a difference. So I found law enforcement as that vehicle for me. So I studied criminal justice in college. I got a degree, and it wasn't until after I graduated, because, you know, I'd followed the plan up to that point. But after graduating, I found out degree does not equal job. Okay, like so many other graduates have found out time and time again before me. So when I applied to all these different police departments, I found out that each and every one of them had the same exact story. They said, "Thank you so much for your application. So now the next part is a written test, a physical test. You got to take a polygraph, a 300-page background packet. We got to send a background investigator to your house. You got to meet with our chief." The list goes on and on and on and on. Okay, this process takes over a year. All right, I was completely mind blown. And I said, wait, what am I supposed to do for an entire year while you guys decide if you want to maybe hire me or not? So I had to get a job in the meantime. I went and got a job at a potato chip factory. This factory was an hour away from my house. So my life consisted of waking up at 4 a.m. every single morning, leaving my house by 5:30, driving an hour to work. Then I would work from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., well, 7:20 p.m. And then I would leave the factory, drive an hour home, get home around 8:30 at night. And after this 15-hour day, I was completely exhausted and miserable, and I absolutely hated my life. You know, I needed to find something different. It was so, I was almost in a depression at that point. And so I really started to search. I started praying and looking for something different to change my life. And knowledge, you know, I know a lot of people say knowledge is power, but it's really applied knowledge that is power. So I started looking for that knowledge to apply into my life that could change my circumstances. And I read this book called Rich Dad, Poor Dad by the man you see here on the screen, Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. And how this book changed my life is because in this book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, he talks about the cash flow quadrant. Okay, the cash flow quadrant is so important because if you make money in this world, okay, no matter how you do it, you fit into one of these 4 quadrants, okay? As an employee working at this factory, you know, I was on the left side of the quadrant, and there is a big, big difference between the left and the right side. But the top left, you see the employees. We all know what employees are. You get hired by someone. They tell you when to come into work, when you can go home. They tell you how much you're going to make, when you're going to get a raise, and you have really no control as an employee. Okay, and then you have the self-employed people. Now, these people have a little bit more control over their lives, a little bit more control over their schedules. You know, you're thinking about lawyers, doctors, you know, lawyers, doctors, barbers, hairstylists. Okay, they can create their, and I see there's something in the chat box. Okay. Yeah, exactly. When you can and can't use the bathroom. Yes, as an employee, you have to ask to use the bathroom. So yeah, that's all in the employee quadrant. As a self-employed, you have a lot more control. You can actually set your own hours. And if you don't feel like going to work today, right? If I own a law firm and I don't feel like going in, you know, I just shut it down for the day and it's all good. But the big thing with self-employed people, your time, you're still trading your time for money, right? As a doctor, yes, I can shut down the practice for the day, but if I don't show up for the surgery, if I don't show up for work, I'm not making money. And the same thing with your income. Your income is capped by time because you're trading your dollars for hours. If I'm the best barber in Philadelphia, of course, I can set my own price. I can charge $1,000 per haircut, but I can only make so much money because I can't cut 10,000 people's heads in a single day. So again, as an employee and a self-employed person, your income is capped. As an employee, it's capped by your boss. As a self-employed person, it's capped by how much hours in the day. How you uncap your income is by moving from the left to the right side of the quadrant. You're moving from the left literally to the right side of money. All right. So as a business owner, you're now moving to the right side of money. What business owners do is they leverage systems. They buy systems and leverage other people's time to make them money. So a great example of that, if I buy a McDonald's franchise, I hire managers, I got crew members, I got, you know, people to work on maintenance stuff. So that McDonald's is running. It's a well-oiled machine. And no matter how I spend my time, I'm still making money. All right. And that's great. But the final quadrant is investor. And this is where the book put a lot of emphasis, because the investor quadrant is the best one out there. Okay. Why it's the best one is because you're putting your money to work for you. And so again, completely uncapped your income. Your money can work for you 24 hours a day. But the best part about being an investor is that you don't got to deal with the things that business owners got to deal with, right? People don't come to work with attitudes. They don't got to call off because the kids are sick. They don't show up late because they got stuck in traffic. Your money has none of those issues, and it can work for you 24 hours a day. So it was very clear to me that I had to find a way to get into this investor quadrant. So when I started thinking about it, I said, well, what are some investments? The first thing that popped into my mind, what? Stocks and real estate. Cool. But I don't have, $200,000 to start buying properties and fixing them up and flipping houses and all that kind of stuff. And I definitely don't have, hundreds of thousands of dollars to buy hundreds of shares of stocks to be able to make a little bit of money in the stock market. So I started to really dig in and do some research. I started to look for other vehicles. And this is where I ran into the foreign currency exchange market, Forex. And this is what Brooklyn was talking about. This is a vehicle that has been around for hundreds and hundreds of years, but it's something that was never really readily available to people like you and I, the everyday person. Okay, this was an industry completely dominated by the banks and the top 1%. Okay, the wealthiest of wealthy individuals, because up until about 20 years ago, you needed at least $100,000 minimum to be able to participate in these markets. And obviously, like I said, the banks, like Brooklyn mentioned at the beginning of the call, the banks are taking your hard-earned capital and they are investing it. It's actually funny. There's a thing on YouTube with Floyd Mayweather. He put in $10 million cash, took $10 million, took it into the bank, put it in an account. And then later that day, he got in an argument with the bank teller and he got really pissed off. He went back to the bank the next day. He said, give me back every single penny. I'm withdrawing, closing this account. And they said, sorry, we don't have your money. You have to put in a request, and it's going to take us about a week to get that type of capital to be able to give to you. He said, I just brought it here yesterday, all in cash. I want my money. He completely flipped out. It's on YouTube. You guys can look it up. He threw a fit, but there was nothing they could do because the banks don't hold that type of capital. They are investing your money so that they can make more millions and billions of dollars. And Forex is the vehicle that they are investing in. So this is the most liquid financial market in the entire world. It's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week. It's a $5.3 trillion industry. Okay, $5.3 trillion moving every single day. And just to give you to quantify that, the stock market is only about 120 million only, right? The stock market's only 120 million a day. So this is a huge industry. And now it's completely available to people like you and I because of technology, and we can trade from our cell phones or our computers. So just to break things down a little bit more about Forex, say me, Angie, and Brooklyn all decided we were going to go down to Mexico on vacation. Right? If we go to vacation, obviously Mexico, they don't use the US dollar. They have the Mexican peso. Okay. So when we get down to Mexico, we got to exchange our dollars for pesos. Say we all take like $1,000 a piece. Okay. Now what you guys don't know is I got a great friend in Mexico. He owns a hotel. So he's going to give me, Angie, and Brooklyn, he's going to give us free room and board. We got continental breakfasts. There's a pool, a basketball court. We got free lunches, dinners. We don't have to spend a dime. Everything's going to be comped by the hotel. Okay. So we're staying there in Mexico, living it up for a week, living it up like kings and queens. We don't got to spend a penny. So all of that $1,000 is still in our pockets. When we get back to the US, if we land in Miami, the second we get off the plane and try to go to a Chick-fil-A and pull pesos out, they're going to look at us like we got 5 heads. Right? Obviously, when we get off the plane, we got to turn those pesos back into dollars. All of you guys know that currency exchange rates are always moving, depending on the economy and news and all types of factors. But, these exchange rates are always moving. So that $1,000 will not be 1,000 anymore, right? It can be 800 or it can be 1,200. And if it's $1,200, we just profited, what, $200 for for just going on vacation, right? We went to Mexico and lived it up and had a great time for a week. So that is how the foreign currency exchange market works. You are predicting what's going to happen in the market and making the right call, and now you're profiting as these markets are moving around. And like I said, I don't have to go to Mexico in order to exchange the peso. I can do it directly from my cell phone or my laptop. So that brings me into what is Silverstarlive. Okay, we have a hands-free automated trading service. So we are now allowing, like I said, allowing the average individual with no Forex experience or background to really dive into these markets and start to make a little bit of money. Okay, we are operating worldwide. I myself have teams in over 7 different countries. Okay, we are operating, globally, which is fantastic. But the most important thing about this company is that we were founded in 2016. So what that means is that we've been spending the last couple years really perfecting our services, perfecting our softwares, really working on these algorithms and working out the artificial intelligence. As of today, we are really a well-oiled machine. Things are finally starting to come together and really starting to pick up speed and take off with this company. But we're old enough that, like I said, we've been working things out and we're putting things together, but yet we're new enough that the average individual has never really heard about us. Okay, so this is a ground floor opportunity. You know, my mentor, when I first started to get involved in business, my first mentor, he said, Paul, the way that you make a lot of money as an entrepreneur is that you get involved with something, you hop onto a trend before it becomes popular, right? Getting in front of something before the masses know about it. And that is the opportunity that's in front of you here today with Silverstarlive. It's like Mark Zuckerberg sitting you down in his Harvard dorm room and saying, hey, I have this incredible idea about this crazy thing called Facebook. Okay, that is what is in front of you guys here today. So a final thing about Silverstarlive is that we are completely debt-free and privately owned, meaning that our software and everything that this company has created is completely owned by us and leased out to our customers. So we have no corporate guru, we have no shareholders pulling the strings behind the scenes, trying to really, all they care about is the bottom line. Okay, we are ran completely by our corporate leadership, and everything that we do is in the best interest of our customers and moving the company forward. So that brings me to who is our corporate leadership, right? I'm sure you guys want to know a little bit about people who's running this ship. So we have Mr. Hassan Mahmoud. He's the executive vice president. He's really the face from corporate here, putting boots on the ground. Okay, he is the one traveling the country, traveling the world, introducing people to what we have to offer here at Silverstarlive. Okay, then we have Miss Candace Ross. She is the president, the glue that really keeps our company together. She is the one who is making all the tough decisions in our company. And she's definitely not the one that you want to have blowing up your phone, okay? When you get a call from Candace, you are in trouble. So I start shaking a little bit if my phone is ringing and I see Candace. All right, but then we have the man, the myth, the legend, Mr. Quick Silver. He is our chief operating officer, and he's actually the developer and the brains behind our software and the algorithm and the artificial intelligence. So let me just give you guys a little bit of background on Quick Silver. You know, he's a 22-year ex-hedge fund trader. And before I get into his trading background, I want to share a little bit about him as a person, okay? Mr. Quick Silver is the 92nd. It's documented. He is a 92nd smartest person in the entire world. The 92nd. There are only 91 people on this entire planet who are smarter than this man, which is crazy. He has a documented 182 IQ score. Okay? For those of you, if you're anything like me, I had no idea what that meant. I know it sounded like a big number. All right, but I wasn't as impressed. I'm like, I don't know how high this scale goes. Let me put it into perspective for you guys. Albert Einstein had 160 IQ. Okay, Quick Silver has 182. He is over 20 points smarter than Albert Einstein. Okay, so this is a very, very smart individual, and he will obviously be successful at whatever he does, whatever he puts his mind to. So he decided to put his mind into Forex. He became an incredible trader. He created a great strategy that made him a lot of money. Okay, he's been able to spend 22 years in this industry making tons of money. He got hired by a hedge fund. What hedge funds do, they take people's money, rich people, hundreds of thousands of dollars, or even corporations, and take millions of dollars. They say, here, take these millions, turn it into hundreds of millions. or billions. Okay, he traded the New York prison pension fund. So people who work in the prisons, the retirees, he was responsible for taking their pensions for after they retire and making sure that the pensions continue to grow and that there was money to be given out as people retired. And he did this for years and years, but he really got tired of it because he woke up one day and just kind of realized that these wealthy people and these corporations are not the people that need this money. And not only that, but how hedge funds work, they take these millions from these wealthy people, they trade it and turn it into hundreds of millions. They give the customer 20%, and then the rest of that 80% is kept to the hedge fund and the trader who made that money. And he said, wow, we are really ripping people off. You know, we are no better than the banks. So he wanted to create a vehicle to help not only the people who need it, people like you and I, everyday individuals instead of the 1% in corporations, but he wanted to give us a vehicle to be able to really put our money to work for us and really capitalize on everything that this market and this industry has to offer us. So that is why we created this artificial intelligence and these different softwares for our customers. Now, let me just go into how this works, because unlike Acorn or Robinhood or Charles Schwab or any other investment platform out there, Silverstarlive does not take your money. You are not handing us a couple $1,000s and saying, here, Quicksilver, here, Silverstar, Paul, Brooklyn, take my money and turn it into more money, and then we take a percentage of your profits. That is not how anything works, all right? How it works is that you go to a broker of your choice. So you get to do your research, find a broker, and pick whoever you want. You give them your money. Then from us, you are purchasing the software, and we are allowing you to license and lease our product. And our product links up with your brokerage account, and it tells your broker what trades to place, and those trades go ahead and make you money. Okay, so our product is working on your account and growing your account. But you're still 100% in control. You can close trades. You can still withdraw funds whenever you want. You can put more funds in. Everything is 100% under your control. Okay, we do not take your money. Now, it is not completely hands-off. It's not completely hands-free. There's very minimal interaction. You might have to turn the software on or off, but the hardest part is getting set up, which we help you and hold your hand and walk you through that entire process. But after setup, it's almost hands-free. Okay, there is very minimal interaction that happens after you get things set up. All right, so going to our services, I'm a big fan of documentation over conversation. I can sit here all day and share for hours and hours of how great our product is and how much money we're making people and all types of great results. But, like I said, documentation over conversation. Saying things are one thing, but seeing is believing, right? So what I want to do is go ahead and share screen and show you guys some live customer accounts and really get into how this software works and show you guys everything that we got going on here. So I'm going to go ahead and open up a customer account from one of our customers, Abby here. She's given us permission to be able to share her results. So you see here on the 25th of October, Abby put about $1,400 into her account. And her first trade took place on the 7th of November. Okay, so on the 7th of November, she had her first trade. She made $24.50. Then she went ahead and made $25, $27, $24, tons and tons of profits. So the software is extremely accurate. Now, here we finally see a loss. Here is the most exciting part. Okay, losses are incredible. See, in Forex, the market can only do two things. It goes down or it goes up. So you got a 50-50 shot. Okay. Anybody can get lucky, get on a hot streak. People make money in Vegas all the time, right? What sets our product apart, what sets apart the profitable traders and the professionals from the amateurs is how you handle these losses. You can make thousands and thousands of dollars in this market in a couple minutes, but if you place one trade and lose it all in a couple seconds and blow your account, that money that you made doesn't mean anything. So this is how our product handles the losses. You see here, she entered a trade with the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. She lost $39. The artificial intelligence in Benjamin was smart enough to realize, hey, the market is not going our way. It's not going in the right direction. And so it placed another trade. See here again, the New Zealand dollar, Japanese yen. So even though she lost $39 here on this trade, she actually made $43. So she actually broke even. She actually made a couple dollars from this bad trade. So what our software does, the artificial intelligence of watching these trades, and it either makes you money and wins the trade, or it breaks even and helps protect your capital. So you're breaking even or making money. Okay, and then our product is very, very accurate. Again, so we see $97, 21, a bunch more wins here. And then we finally have another loss, right? The US dollar, Japanese yen pair, she lost $40. Now, we see here it took a couple trades in between, and then here it is. So here is the cost average where it lost $40 here on the original trade, and then it placed another US dollar, Japanese yen trade and made 44. So the hedging function and cost averaging works. Okay, so again, in in November is when this account was started and started to finally take trades. So it's been about a little bit over 2 months. And in these 2 months, Abby from her $1,400 investment has made over $3,600. Okay, that is pretty incredible. I would love for you to be able to show me a bank where I can put in a $1,400 investment into a savings account and get back $3,600. Okay, I would love to be a member, but it just is not possible. Now, obviously, the broker needs to get their fee; they need their little cut. So, after her, fees and whatnot, she made still $2,800 from her $1,400 investment. So, in just 2 months, she's more than doubled her account. So her total account size, as you can see here, is $4,293, which is still incredible. Now, the best thing about Benjamin is that you can kind of adjust your risk settings depending on how conservative or aggressive you want to be. Obviously, Abby is very, very aggressive, okay? In these 2 months, she's more than doubled her accounts. That's about 50% per month, okay? That is crazy. Okay, for those of you that realize that higher risk equals higher reward, and you're completely okay with these type of risks and realize that you could lose a little bit of money, if you want to take those risks and do what Abby did, then I'm just showing you guys what is possible. But on average, on a more conservative account, our customers are seeing anywhere from like 8 to 10% returns from Benjamin, from our software. Okay, so 8 to 10% is not bad. So what I want to show you is another customer who's a little bit more conservative and give you a little bit more realistic feel of what our software can do. So as you can see here, he invested about $3,100. And if we scroll to the top, we can see his account started in November as well. So he put in $100, then $1,000 and $2,000, and the $1,000 was on the 14th. And then on the 23rd, so you can see his confidence started to grow with the software. Okay, he put in a little bit to kind of test it out, and then he kind of went all in. So from his $3,100 investment, it's been about 2 months for him as well, and he's made about 50% of his account. His $3,100 investment has made him $2,157, and after the broker fees, he still netted about 15, or actually it's about 16, right? It's $1,595, so we'll call it $1,600. So he's made about $1,600 in these 2 months from his $3,100 investment. So about 20% a month is what he's been seeing. 20, 21%, something around there. So 10% is clearly not the ceiling with our product. But I'm a big fan of under-promising and over-delivering. I'd rather tell you, expect about 8 to 10% and bring you back 15 to 20, rather than tell you 15 to 20 and you get 12 and you're ready to chop my head off, right? So I like to be conservative. So that's our flagship product. This is Benjamin, incredible artificial intelligence software. Okay, Benjamin, like I said, it speaks for itself. You guys have seen the results. So what I want to do is go ahead and pull up another account from our other software, Hamilton. Now, how Hamilton works, it's for that customer, say 8 to 10%. 10% of a $500 account is only $50. So if you only have a couple $100 and you're ready to get started with us, Benjamin will still work for you. But for those people trying to see some faster returns, they want to utilize their profits from the software to pay off their subscription, and they want to get a little bit more hands-on, Hamilton could be for you. So how Hamilton works, like I said, it's more hands-on. You may have to turn off the software on and off a lot more. Okay, you really got to be active in watching this one. So it's a lot less hands-free, but this product is incredible. It will place anywhere from like 75 to 100 trades per day. Okay, it places hundreds and hundreds of trades, and it gets little 50-cent wins here, dollar wins, 50 cents, 30 cents, 20 cents, and all these little wins compound and make incredible profits. So with Hamilton, you can expect anywhere from like 25, I'm sorry, not 25, anywhere from like $250 to about $700 per month returns, regardless of your account size. Okay, Hamilton is not a compounding software like Benjamin, where the bigger your account, the bigger your returns. Hamilton is a flat rate. Whether I have $500 or $5,000, Hamilton will still make me $250 to $700 every single month. So let me just go ahead and show you. Hamilton is a pretty new software. It's only been out a few weeks, but you see here, this account was funded on the 23rd. So it's been about a week now. Or not, yeah, it's been about a week now. Account was funded on the 23rd. He put in about $400. Let's see how Hamilton did. From his $400 investment in a week, he's made $222 in just 1 week. Over 50% of his account in just a week. So Hamilton is incredible. And like I said, it's for those people with the smaller accounts, but realize it takes a little bit more work. It's not really as hands-off. You have to turn the software on and off, and there's a little bit of management. But if you can watch this software, then Hamilton might be for you. All right, so let me go ahead and get back to my other screen here. All right, so for those of you who see this and say, wow, this Forex thing sounds absolutely incredible. The software seems amazing, okay? But even though the software is great, and I know that it does a lot of the work, but you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. You teach a man how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. I get customers all the time who want to learn how to trade. They want to learn how the software is placing these trades and how they're able to start profiting in the Forex markets. When we've realized this, you know, Brooklyn, myself, and our two partners, Michael and Dante, we've all been involved in Forex way before we ever heard about Silverstarlive or this software. So what we've done is we've taken our knowledge and some of the best traders on our team, and we've put together a system and a platform to be able to teach our customers who want to learn Forex. We've put together this platform to teach you Forex. So we have everything. We've got a bunch of videos. We've got PDF files, all types of resources and documentation for you guys to look at and learn anywhere from the basic and the most, you know, the most basic trading strategies to the super, super advanced techniques for you to be able to learn everything about how this market's working. And we've even went and hired 6- and 7-figure traders that hop on live trading sessions with us and pull up charts and say, hey, this is what I'm looking for in the market. This is how my strategy works. This is what I do. And they hop on these sessions and they teach us everything we want to learn about Forex. And we give this resource to you guys 100% for free just by being a part of our Impact4X team. Okay, yeah, so this is a 100% free resource that we are providing to you guys at no cost to you. Now, for training courses alone, okay, I've seen courses out there made by 6- and 7-figure traders. They charge $5,000 for the course alone. Okay, you can get up there if you really want to learn some Forex education. Okay, you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars. And then talking about the software side and the almost hands-free, I've seen softwares out there charging anywhere from $3,000 to $5,000 with like a $300 to $500 monthly fee. Okay, so all the value that we're providing with the software and the education, it's about a $10,000 plus value with maybe even a $500 monthly fee. That is the value that we are providing to you. But for me, I mean, I was able to quit my job that I hated, working 15-hour days, absolutely miserable, on the brink of depression. I was able to quit that job and start to work from home and travel the world and just share this wonderful opportunity with people. So it would have been worth it for me if somebody said, you know what, this is what's possible for you. It only costs $10,000, $500 a month. I would have had to find a way to somehow make this happen. I would have been willing to do it. I don't know how, but I would have made it happen. But what we wanted to do, like I said, our COO, Mr. Quicksilver, he wanted to create this for the average individual. You know, a $10,000 value is way out of the price range of a lot of people, myself included. And this is what I love about our company so much, because my goal, my mission was to be able to help people, impact people, change lives. And that was the exact goal of our COO, Mr. Quicksilver, and putting this all together. So this is just why I love this company so much. So we offer you this amazing value at only $199. Okay, this $10,000 value we give to you for $199 down, and it covers your first month of service. So all you pay when you get started is $199, and then our software also runs off of a VPS. It's basically a computer in the cloud. It just allows your software to run 24 hours a day. Okay, so you can buy a VPS. They cost anywhere from like $25, maybe even $30, anywhere in that price range. So that on top of the $199, that's all you're paying to get started with us. And then however much money you put in your trading account, again, you have complete access to that money. You can still pull it out and, you know, add to it, whatever you want to do. So the $199 to get started, and then the VPS cost. And then it's only $145 a month to keep your software active, to keep access to our, you know, exclusive back office services, where we're giving you that education and the live sessions and all that good stuff. Okay, only $145 a month. So this is an incredible, incredible value that we wanted to provide to you guys. And like I said, we're changing lives and impacting people all over the world. Now, one thing that I first thought when I heard about this, I said, you know what? It sounds incredible. The $145 a month is not bad, but who wants to add another bill to their life? Right? The last thing we need is another bill. So the company's even giving you the opportunity to be able to get your software for free and to continue accessing this amazing software and these licenses 100% for free. And so how they've done that is by sharing this software with 3 people and referring 3 customers to the company. Now you're no longer getting charged a monthly fee, and everything is completely free, and your software will continue to work and compound your money for you, and you're not getting charged. So that's incredible. And it's just like any other company, right? I mean, Airbnb, Netflix, Uber, Lyft, all these companies utilize word of mouth advertising. I used to drive Lyft, and they gave me a code and said, hey, you share this with your friends, any of them become drivers, we give you $100 and you get a percentage of their first 100 rides. It's the same exact concept. We realize that if you tell a friend about something, it'll be a lot more impactful rather than them just seeing a commercial or a billboard or one of those ads on YouTube that they skip after 5 seconds, right? We'd be throwing away our advertising dollars. So it's a lot more effective for us to be able to give that out to people and offer people our services by sharing it with others. Now, if you're anything like me, anything like Brooklyn, and you said, you know what, I can do 3 people easy. This software, I can use it, I can get it for free, that's great. And I know thousands and thousands of people who need something in this, you know, like this in their lives, okay? 3 people is cool, but I know 3,000 that I need to share this with. So what happens when I introduce this to more than 3 people? So that was the first thought that I had. I'm glad you asked. That is where our company gives you the ability to become an apprentice. Okay, as an apprentice, basically you pay a $15 upgrade fee going from just using the software to becoming an apprentice, which is an independent business owner. Okay, you're moving into that other quadrant as well. Not only are you an investor, but now you're a business owner. So now you're eligible for all types of tax deductions and write-offs simply because now you own a business. So, and what that $15 does is it opens up all types of compensations and bonuses for you as well through our company. So there's lots of ways to make money, and here are some of the bonuses. So once you after you get your 3 customers, then that 4th customer, you finally upgrade to that independent business owner, you pay the $15 fee. Now every person who buys the software from you after that, you get a $40 commission. This is a one-time $40 commission just for referring someone to the software. Now down here is our monthly and weekly residual payments, okay? Icon 150, you get this rank after you hit 3 people, so you're making about $150 a month every single month, which is just covering your software fees. Now, once your team grows to about 12 people, your business grows to 12 customers within your organization, you're making $600 a month. How many of you know 12 people with a bank account? A lot, right? How many of you would love to make an additional $600 every single month added to your income by working part-time? Okay, $600, you're talking about an additional $7,000 a year. What would you have to do to get $7,000 a year, at your job? It would probably be a lot, right? And it's completely out of your control on when that move happens. And as your organization continues to grow, say you get 35 people, you're now an Icon 1,500, making at least $1,500 minimum every single month just through this one bonus. And that's where I am currently in the company, about an Icon 1,500. Okay, that's about what, $30,000, closer to 40, actually, about $40,000 added to your income every single year by working part-time. What would you have to do at your job to get another $40,000 a year? Probably get another job, right? So it's just incredible that the company offers you this. And then we have our final payout system here is the matrix. Basically what happens is your organization can grow huge and huge and huge, but because of our payout structure and how things are organized, maybe your growth is happening all in one section of your business. And so you're not cracking through these ranks, making these all types of crazy payouts, but your organization is still growing. So what the company's done is they've given us this bonus to be able to pay you out. Basically, they pay you $3 for every single person in your organization, regardless of where they are. So depending on what level of the matrix you're in, you get a one-time payout of whatever the number is, however many customers you have in your organization. So there's lots of ways for you to be able to make money through the matrix, the monthly residual payments, the fast start bonus, using the product and just getting those profits from the software. And then you also have the ability to make money from your own trading and your own knowledge because we provide you with the education. So there are a lot of different ways for you guys to utilize this system to create a lot of wealth and income for yourselves. Okay, the potential is incredible here. And for any of you that are like me, skeptical, one thing I was raised with, a saying that I got from my parents, they say, if something sounds too good to be true, it usually is, right? And when I got into entrepreneurship and I met some incredible people, Brooklyn always talks about surrounding yourself with people who are way smarter than you. So that's what I do. I surround myself with individuals who have what I want in life. And I started to get mentors the second I got into this business, this business arena. And one of the first lessons that I was taught by my mentor, he said, once he heard that mindset of something being too good to be true, he said, Paul, if everything is too good to be true, if every opportunity is too good to be true, how are you ever going to find a true opportunity? Exactly, Angie, so true. And so it really just kind of opened my mind and said, wow, that's incredible. I was passing up so many opportunities in my life because everything just seemed too good to be true. And then he said, exactly, Paul, and this is what sets apart the very, very wealthy, the top 1%, from the average individual who was working at the factory like you were, who absolutely hated their job and hated their situation, or have a bunch of stresses in their lives because they have opportunities placed in front of them every single day. But what sets them apart is that they say, you know what, it's too good to be true. It's not for me. And they pass it up. And the wealthy see those same exact opportunities. They say, well, it makes sense. I see the potential. I see where it can benefit me. How do I get started? And they take immediate action. Like I said in the beginning of the call, guys, knowledge is not power. It's applied knowledge. Until you actually do something with what you're learning, it doesn't do anything for you. Okay, I can read millions and millions of books, but until I apply that knowledge into my life, it doesn't do anything. It's great for trivia and game shows and going to the pub and that quiz test, right, every on weekends. But until I apply that knowledge into my life, it doesn't have the power. I'm not taking full advantage of the effects that it could have. So with that being said, guys, I highly encourage you to get back with the person who got you on this call here today. Reach back out to Brooklyn. And I see a question in the chat box. 3 and free. Absolutely. There's a 3 and free. So what I'm going to do right now, I just want to stick around for a couple minutes. Anybody, I'm going to open it up so you guys can feel free to unmute your mics, ask any questions that you may have. Participants unmute. Yeah, go ahead and unmute yourself. If you got any questions, feel free to ask whatever you like. I'll stick around for a couple minutes, and if no one's got any questions, then we can just close things up. Anybody? Questions?
Great presentation. I learned a lot.
Thank you so much, Angie. I'm glad that I was able to make it worth it for you and make it worth your time. Perfect, perfect. Well, anybody else? Come on, LaToya. I know you got some questions, girl. What you thinking?
I'm gonna get with Brooklyn after the call and follow up with her about a few things, but it sounds very interested. The only thing, my only concern would be probably, getting 3 people to actually pay for my monthly payments.
And the cool thing about that, you don't have to. It's completely optional, just like upgrading to a business owner and, go ahead and building teams and all that stuff is completely optional. If you just want to pay the $145 and you just want to go ahead and be a customer of the software and have your money working for you and compounding rather than having it sitting in a bank, you completely, that's 100%. I've got plenty of customers in my organization. Okay, there's nothing wrong with just being a customer. You don't have to go out and recruit and get and share it with 3 people. If that's an issue for you, then you don't have to do that part.
Right. And the only thing is I would just like to learn a lot more and feel more comfortable so I can actually present it and they actually get it and I can speak to it from experience,
Of course. And so the coolest thing about that is the systems that our team has put in place for you. We completely we're here for you. Me, Brooklyn, my partners, Dante, Michael, we have these calls happen every single Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time or 8 p.m. Central Time. So I know a lot of you are there in Tennessee and all over the world. But 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single night, there is a call like this where we are getting on, presenting, explaining people, everything about the opportunity, showing them some live accounts, answering questions. So you do not have to be an expert, just like Brooklyn. Brooklyn just got started with us a couple weeks ago. Brooklyn is not an expert. So what she's done, we've put together this call. She's utilized this resource and plugged her people into this so that the expert, someone like myself, who is a founder of the company, been involved since the pre-launch and really helping put this company together and a very large organization and knows all the ins and outs of the software and how everything works. She's allowed me to be able to share it with you guys because she's realized, hey, I don't know everything. Why would I ever try to explain it? You're not going to get the full effect, right? She's pointed to the expert, pointed to this resource, and she's plugged people in, and you would have the same exact opportunity. All you have to say is, hey, I've plugged into a system that's been growing my money for me. So I put my money to work for me, and I'm starting to see profits every single week, every single month. It's incredible. This is something you should probably check out. Here's a link. Hop on this call at 9 o'clock Eastern time and check out what it's about. I'll follow up with you later. What about if we want to learn to trade manually? Can you run both Benjamin and Hamilton? So again, if you want to learn how to trade manually, yes, we have resources for you to do that. We've got a whole academy put together for you to be able to learn how to trade. And yes, you can run Benjamin and Hamilton. You can have as many softwares as you'd like. The company offers you additional licenses. So you can get, if you want 2 softwares, you can get your second one for only $70. And so, yeah, you can continue to buy as many softwares. You can have 10 Benjamins and 10 Hamiltons if you want. So that you definitely have that ability. But LaToya, did that answer your question a little bit as well and kind of make you feel a little bit more comfortable?
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Perfect. Glad I could clear that up. So anybody else, any other questions, feel free to type in the chat box. I see you on here, Shani. If you want to unmute and say a couple words, feel free. But if not, all right, I guess that is everything from everybody. Well, thank you so much for your time tonight, guys. Again,
Thank you.
Really appreciate it. Angie, you're wonderful. I really look forward to having you join the team. Same thing with you, Latoya, Aaron, Shani. I look forward to seeing all your smiley faces again and working with you guys very, very closely. Again, my name is Paul Scott. I'm 100% here to help you guys in any way, shape, or form. You can get my contact info directly from Brooklyn. More than happy to answer any other questions if something pops up later on. All right?
Nice
Thank
presentation. Have a nice
Great.
evening.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Have a great evening, everybody. I'll see you guys soon. All right. Bye-bye.